The British Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
This is sports on 1680 The Crow.
Good morning, folks. I'm Jenny Sung, and I'll be filling in for Arden McLeod and Emma Bolsner today. We're going to be talking about sports today, but before diving into the world of sports, we've got a news update, and we have reporter Aiden Singh in studio with us. Renters in Vancouver say the rules around family-related eviction are unfair, and they feel they're being exploited to raise rents for new tenants. Live in studio with us is reporter Aiden, and he's got more about the topic. So what is a family-related eviction?
Well, essentially, Jenny, the BC government has capped rent increases at 3% per year. Some landlords don't think that's enough, and so they'll try to find ways to evict that tenant, bring in a new one they can charge more. One of the loopholes they found for this was moving in a family member and then, well, moving them out, just to allow a new tenant to come in.
Okay, and what does the rule book say about that?
Well, the family member is supposed to stay in the unit for about 12 months, but unfortunately, not all the time. That is not completed all of the time. Thus, the city is supposed to have oversight on this and check in on them. That rarely happens, though.
Yeah, I didn't know that was something that's happening in our city. Thank you for the insight, Aiden. All right, and jumping into hockey, the Canadian NHL teams were booked and busy last night. The Vancouver Canucks were in Anaheim territory up against the Anaheim Ducks, winning with a score of 5-4. The Canucks are missing both goalies Thatcher Demko and Kevin Lankinen due to injuries. And Abbotsford Canucks goalie Nikita Tolopilo started in net in Anaheim last night. Canucks continue their road trip and are back at it again on Friday in San Jose and will play against the Sharks. Puck drop is at 1 o'clock. Moving on to our other Canadian teams, we've got lots of games coming up this Friday. After a 3-4 loss against the Washington Capitals, the Winnipeg Jets will be facing off against the Carolina Hurricane this Friday in Raleigh, and game starts at 2 o'clock. Next up, the Calgary Flames are in Florida territory, and the Flames are hoping to bring home a win against the Panthers, and game starts at 1 o'clock. The Toronto Maple Leafs brought home a 2-1 overtime win at their last game, and hopes are they bring home another. The Leafs will meet the Washington Capitals on Washington ice, and puck drop is at 2. And the Montreal Canadiens are currently sitting at a 2-game win streak and hopefully a third this Friday in Sin City against the Vegas Golden Knights. Puck drop is scheduled for 4 o'clock. And last but not least, the Ottawa Senators won big in a shootout in last night's game, looking to keep up the momentum and bring home another win against the St. Louis Blues in Blues territory at 1 o'clock. And staying in NHL hockey, 2 Vancouverites in the NHL are in the top 5 for most points in the entire league. We've got Macklin Celebrini on the San Jose Sharks in second place, just behind Nathan MacKinnon. Celebrini is sitting at 34 points, tied with Edmonton Oilers' Connor McDavid. Celebrini is just 5 points behind MacKinnon, who's sitting at 39 points. And they've got Connor Bedard on the Chicago Blackhawks in fourth place with points with 33 under his belt. And then we've got reporter Nate Elms, the Burnaby Simon Fraser University just announced that it is considering pulling out of the NCAA, leaving student athletes up in arms. Reporter Nate Elms has the details on the exit and SFU's plans for the future.
Global Sports Solutions concluded that the university could save $850,000 every year by pulling out of the NCAA and returning to U Sports. An open letter from the SFU Student Athlete Advisory Committee outlined that student athletes strongly disagree with the notion, supported by a student-led petition, 3,000 signatures strong. The student running the petition stated that moving away from the NCAA could cause a ripple effect, dissuading current and future students from considering SFU in their athletic endeavors. SFU has competed under the American nonprofit regulatory body for most of its history since being founded in 1965. It remains the only Canadian post-secondary institution to do so. SFU's policymakers expect to have a decision before the end of this month. In the Elms, BCIT News.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow. This is 1680 The Crow, and you're listening to our feature presentation.
If you've grown up in Vancouver, you've probably heard it. Maybe you've even said it yourself. Vancouver is boring. And nowhere is that reputation stronger than in our nightlife. Early last calls, covers that drain your wallet, and transit that shuts down while the night is still young. For a lot of people, going out in the city just doesn't feel worth it. However, underneath that reputation, something different is happening. Outside the big clubs, independent organizers and young creatives are building nightlife of their own, one rooted in community, accessibility, and actually having fun. Today, we'll be stepping inside that world to ask, is Vancouver's reputation deserved, or are we just looking in the wrong places? To answer this question, I wanted to start with someone who's worked in the industry for over 16 years. He's a resident DJ at Portside Pub and Fortune Sound Club, and is a member of the premier DJ collective, The Freshest. His name? DJ Secco.
DJ Secco, you know?
Alright, so Secco, when people call Vancouver clubs boring, what do you think they mean by that?
You know, say like for example, you go to Granville and then you go to a club there, and you know, you heard the top 40 stuff, and then you go to the next spot and it's like you hear exactly the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when I first started going out, I found that it got repetitive really quickly.
I mean, some venues could be more open to themes or like more different styles of music than just kind of like keeping the same kind of, you know, weekend club format music.
Right. So what do you think about our boring reputation?
I feel like that's a kind of like a very mainstream overview of Vancouver, like, because there's a lot of fun stuff that happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you kind of have to be in the known, or like, you know, there's more like on the ground kind of like events, you know, like the kind of like fun stuff that doesn't really happen like in like these mainstream mega clubs.
Right. The typical clubs aren't always the place where people are actually dancing.
Yeah, like those mainstream clubs that she mentioned for sure. Like it's more like, you know, like bottle service places where like, you know, you have your section and you're not really dancing. You're just sitting in the couch, really.
If that experience sounds familiar, you're not alone. Tatiana Al-Shakshir, event organizer and founder of a Vancouver-based party entertainment service, Events with YKB, says the problem isn't just about music taste, it's structural. So Tatiana, I know a big complaint that people make is the repetitiveness of the clubs here. Why is that?
Honestly, we don't have that many venues in the city. So if you're going to the same place every single time, you're going to get bored. DJs have the same residencies in certain areas. So you're really seeing the same crowd that pull up every single time. People are just sticking to the same old thing. They're not like trying to improve in any way.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to break out of when you're sticking to the same old clubs.
You know, the regular nights at regular bumping nightclubs on the Granville Strip are really struggling right now because not a lot of people want to keep doing the same thing.
Just as DJ Secco explained, Tatiana says with our lack of venues and variety, people easily grow tired. But there's another factor that contributes to our dull reputation. To get a better feel of what the clubbing scene is like in Vancouver, I spoke to Opal Close, who knows the city's nightlife like the back of her hand. She's worked multiple roles in the industry, including club promotion, event coordination, photography, and bottle service. For her, Vancouver's reputation is more about our crowd culture.
I noticed that people just go to like stand around, look good, spend money on bottles, and like people just need to have fun. I think that's the main thing, is that people try to act too cool, or like, you know, try to act like I don't know, like they don't want to dance. And like I think that's really important for nightlife is like you should be enjoying yourself.
Oh no, I totally agree. Like personally, I want to go to the club to dance and let loose, so it can be hard to do that when the environment is kind of lacking. But what do you think people should do if they're trying to have a good night out in Vancouver?
Yeah, maybe I guess just like finding like different events, like not just going to like the mainstream clubs all the time, because once I stepped out of that like perspective, I've been having so much more fun meeting new people that are like, more community driven and like actually nice to each other.
Yeah, I get that. I can definitely relate because I've also shifted away from like the traditional club scene for more of the independent events, the underground parties for pretty much the same, reasons. But what do you think needs to change for our mainstream clubs to get to sort of that same level?
I think better community. I think like safer spaces for people to genuinely have fun and not feel judgment, like places for people to be able to express themselves. Because that's really, at the end of the day, what going out and like having fun with your friends should be about is, yeah, just having a safe space to actually be able to do that.
One person trying to change the experience directly is Issa Savage, a 23-year-old event organizer and art director behind Issa and Friends. Issa and Friends is a monthly, low-cost, and sometimes even completely free event that aims to give young people a place to party that feels safe and welcoming.
It was the night of November 14th. Issa plus friends and Cooked Radio came together and had a function. There was music and DJs. There was streaming on Twitch. And there was food. And last but not least, there was good company.
So, Issa, what inspired you to start throwing these events?
The clubs I was going to were just so like, I don't know, I wasn't going home feeling like I could like tell my kids about my experience. It did not feel memorable. It just felt like a waste of time.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what sort of pushed you to take it into your own hands.
I just enjoyed throwing parties and like
Yeah.
just doing like cool shit that like I can look back on, like I just enjoyed creating a space where like you would never expect two people to like be friends and they become friends because of the environment.
Yeah, that must feel awesome to look back and say that you did that.
I think that has always been something I've seen happen through like the years and years of me doing this. So many people have become friends through my shows.
Yeah, and it definitely helps that the events are low cost and accessible as well, because obviously going out in Vancouver can be really expensive. But what did your managers and the other people that you work with think about your idea? Because I know most venues probably want to make their money back and turn a profit.
They gave me that opportunity because they just genuinely felt like nightlife is not affordable and this might help the issue. And me and my managers realized like, holy shit, like this is like kind of important. This actually might be something that like will help people a lot, just like enjoy these years of their life and like actually like improve nightlife here.
Yeah, I love that. You also mentioned opening up a guest list as well.
I always open a guest list and I always like I have a lot of spots on those guest lists, and like if people just text me like I like reach out on the Instagram, like I've had so many people reach out and like send me paragraphs on, oh, I'm not able to like afford like coming, but I've been hearing about this and I really want to come, and I literally am like I have like a good position to like make it accessible, so why not?
Wow, I feel like that really highlights the connection that you're making with the people that attend your events and kind of builds a community like alongside that too.
When you come to my shows, like if you actually come consistently and you talk to people and you will like start to get a sense of like a community there. And I think like that just makes you feel like safe, like walking into a room and knowing everybody there. At the end of the day, like people just want to feel like they're a part of something.
Issa's events center the people in the room, not just the bar sales, not just the headliner, but a whole ecosystem of artists, DJs, vendors, and friends trying to build something bigger. With many independent organizers finding success in curating their niche, Events with YKB founder Tatiana says to move forward and make change on a bigger scale, people need to work together. Tatiana, what do you think we have to do to reshape the scene so that the city can start separating itself from the reputation we currently have?
It's definitely collaborating with different business owners, whether it's a nightclub or an event space, and see how we can like maybe strike a deal and work together to lift each other up rather than, compete with each other. The city will definitely be a better place if different backgrounds and cultures unite as one and create something really big. It's definitely collaborations, I would say, because in this city, it's very competitive and everyone's just doing their own thing instead
Right.
of uniting.
Mm-hmm.
But Vancouver has so much potential and beautiful places. We lack venues, yes, we do. But if we work together with different groups of people, like more diverse groups of people, I'm sure we can make something great happen.
So, is Vancouver's nightlife boring? It can be. If you stick to the same room, same playlists, same routines, it might feel predictable. But underneath the surface, something else is brewing. People like Issa and many young organizers in the city are building something new. Parties centered on safety, affordability, music, and making real human connections. And if people work together to make these scenes keep growing, the old reputation might not stick around for much longer. For BCIT News, I'm Orchid Soling, and this was Vancouver After Dark.